Today's video is not going to make a whole lot of sense. And I'm not talking about me having ADHD and being unmedicated, although that doesn't help anything. I am talking about two AAA game publishers that are blowing my mind. I can only report on the facts here. I'm not going to really do a lot of conspiracy theory kind of mumbo jumbo with this stuff, but nothing makes sense. You guys can draw your own conclusions, but I'm just going to lay the facts out as I see them for one Ubisoft and one Activision. I don't know what's going on with either of these companies. I don't know the thought process. Activision's very profitable despite their bad decisions, although at the expense of the players, whereas Ubisoft is just not profitable and appear to be in a lot of trouble at the expense of the players. So I'm going to cover both because we need to just get this out. And this is going to be a longer video, I think, probably over 20 minutes. I hope that's not a bad thing. It's just there's a lot to cover, and I got a lot I want to get off my chest. So let's begin. So as you guys know, XDefiant shut down yesterday. It had the rug pulled out from under it by Ubisoft. Here's the thing, though. Those rumors from Tom Henderson, I don't think those were true. From what I have heard today, those were not true. I don't think he foresaw this. I don't think there were any plans to actually shut down XDefiant. This was a sudden thing that Ubisoft just kind of decided, apparently in the last couple of days. And I'm not kidding with that. None of this makes sense other than they're incompetent. This isn't some conspiracy where I'm going to be like, Call of Duty, you know, paid them to take this out or whatever. No, I don't think it's that at all. I think Ubisoft is just... they're in shambles. They're a shell of their former selves. A lot of you guys tried to warn me, and I'm sorry I didn't listen. You said I wouldn't trust XDefiant's future because Ubisoft loves to just pull the rug out from live service games before they even really get going. And I'm like, nah, I think this is different. Like, I think they're serious this time. Nah, you guys were right. I was wrong. They fucked over, like, not just the XDefiant player base, but the devs. I mean, the devs got laid off right before Christmas. Just horrible, you know, just terrible. But anyway, I talked to Aches today, who is one of the XDefiant lead devs, and he basically informed me of what, you know, I'm telling you here. It was a sudden thing. It just kind of happened out of nowhere. But he did also tell me that Season 3 is still going to release. I think that's the TBA kind of deal there, but they had a lot planned for Season 3. So that's still coming out. We're getting an Assassin's Creed season. We're getting Prestige mode with that, I do believe. And all the content from that's still going to be put in the game. What's really weird, though, is that they cut off, like, access to the servers. So only people who had it downloaded still have access. Like, you can't download it and then sign up now for whatever reason. And that's going to be taken offline June 2025, which... that just... make it make sense. That makes no sense. I'm sorry. Someone please explain... why that is the thing. Either take the game offline or release the content, but like don't stop people from signing up. It's just so mismanaged. How bad are Ubisoft like hemorrhaging on the inside money-wise or whatever to do this? It just, I don't get it. I truly don't get it. This is what I tweeted yesterday. I'm still wrapping my head around canning XDefiant before its biggest season yet, featuring Assassin's Creed and Prestige mode, right as the Call of Duty honeymoon phase is ending and people are starting to turn on BO6. I mean, Ubisoft canned it before putting it on Steam and shut down new signups immediately. Huh? XDI says, yeah, it's a really rushed announcement. I don't know, man. Super weird. Code for the Steam listing was found a few weeks back as well, if I remember correctly. Super weird they call it now and not in January. This is a true thing, by the way, at least from the leaks that I gathered. Keeping up with the leaks, Season 4 was going to have a Zombies-like Rabbids mode too. I personally never had issues finding matches, so no idea what's going on. Someone else I talked to in DMs that's a big fan of XDefiant said the Steam release was supposed to be on launch on December 18th with the new season. Season 3. What happened? In that same DM, this person says, Aches told us earlier that it was literally instant, unfortunately, the whole shutdown of XDefiant. I want to keep playing and actually try, but people see that message, plus they only had until December 3rd, 6 hours to install the game. It's like they wanted it to die instantly. And then Clue, big X-Defiant player in the community, says, I mean, there was supposed to be a meetup with some key creators in the X-Defiant community at the Red Storm offices in Cary, NC, slated for this month to host a little meet and greet with the developers and show off the future of X-Defiant. That was canceled out of the blue only a couple weeks out, about a month or so after people were contacted and flights were being booked. From the look of things, it seems like even key developers were completely blindsided by this decision. Maybe I should have seen this coming when the advertisement, like the sole advertisement for X-Defiant, I'm not sure if you guys remember this, was getting a bunch of X-COD pros to play the game on Twitch. Do you guys remember that? I remember Scump and Nadeshot specifically playing the game on Twitch. I know Parasite played it as well. But the thing about Parasite is I think he played it just because he enjoyed the game. I don't think they were paying him, but I'm not sure about that. But regardless, I do know that they paid a lot of ex-COD pros to play and promote the game on Twitch, and that's fine and dandy. But the thing is that once you stop paying them, they're going to stop playing it because they're COD players at the end of the day. They prefer Call of Duty, and they're going to play Black Ops 6 when that comes along. Not a very good business strategy as far as, I don't know, like advertising the game goes. It really blows my mind that they weren't more in touch with the creators that are like actual fans of the game, like me and Nero. I know Nero got a creator code in the shop. I mean, guys, I never got a creator code in the shop, even the skin shop. A lot of people were even saying, I'm not buying anything from the shop until you get a creator code BT. Never got one. I'm guessing that's something that the Ubisoft higher-ups did. Maybe they thought I was a brand risk or whatever, but still, I like the game, so I'd talk about it. I'd post clips on Twitter. I'd stream it a little bit. I'd post videos about it on YouTube. I'd use it for gameplay, even when I wasn't talking about it. And I get, you know, around this time period, I get like 100,000 views a video. In fact, last month, November, is the most successful November I've ever had on the channel. Thank you guys, by the way. Nearly 3 million views. 3 million views. Why didn't you hit me up, Ubisoft? Like, what are you doing? Just so you guys know, I was never contacted by anybody there, you know, except the devs. So, as far as the higher-ups go, never heard a goddamn peep. So, it is what it is, man. They're just out of touch, man. Hall & Oates said it best. You're out of touch and I'm out of time. So, I don't know, man. It sucks to see this happen, but it's classic Ubisoft, and I should have trusted you guys. It's bizarre to me because my girlfriend actually started playing Siege again, and she was saying how like she's running into the same people over and over. So I don't even think Siege is doing that well. But Ubisoft should know, even if player counts are lower than expected or profits not as high as expected with X-Defiant or they're losing money on the project, all these live service games kind of start out the same, especially when they're a new IP. And what I mean by that is I have seen this exact thing with Dead by Daylight. I have seen this exact thing with Siege, speaking of, where they start out. I mean, I bought Siege back in the day when it first released, and I played it. And I remember thinking when it first came out, I'm like, this is okay. You know, it's kind of whatever. It's missing content. I'll play it for like a little bit, but then I'm shelving it. And then it becomes one of the bigger games, like one of the bigger live service games ever, because when their player count was at the lowest and things looked the most dire, they pumped out like the best season yet, and then now Siege is where it's at. It's like Ubisoft does not have any sort of foresight. If it's not an instant hit, they give up and lose money. I don't think that company, I do not think Ubisoft survives 2025. After Assassin's Creed, the new Assassin's Creed launches, I think it's over. I really, really do. People are saying Tencent's going to buy them up. I mean, I hope so. I really do, and I hope they revive a lot of the IPs that fans want, like Splinter Cell, X-Defiant, Watch Dogs, all that stuff. Because this is just pathetic. I don't know what has happened to Ubisoft, but they are just killing themselves. They're hemorrhaging. So none of this makes sense. It just truly does not make sense. It didn't even get a chance. I mean, Season 3, I understand if that doesn't move the needle, then yeah, cancel the game. Like, I get it, you know? But this, they didn't even give it a chance, and they canceled it right before what could have been a huge season for the game. I was planning to cover it on YouTube here, especially, again, considering the Call of Duty honeymoon phase pretty much already over. This should be a lesson, though, to, at the end of the day, make good games. Ubisoft made a bunch of crappy mid-tier games like Skull and Bones, quadruple A game, by the way, that didn't move the needle, didn't really make them money, lost them money. Now they don't have the money to, support a live service game, which could have been quite big if they gave it time. Just bizarre. Also, again, Siege is also not doing that well from what I hear and what I've seen on Steam charts as well. So it's just Assassin's Creed. I don't need to talk about that. Let's move on, though, and talk about Activision Blizzard. They are good at making money, at least, usually at the expense of the players, but their business model is actually genius. Advertise your game to the biggest normies, the dumbest motherfuckers out there, the people that don't know dog shit from a Baby Ruth. Market your game to them, rig their matches with EOMM behind the scenes and don't talk about it openly, and voila! Put some $30 bundles in the shop, what have you, you're good to go. While they are great at making money, though, they're still fucking retards, if I can just be so bold. They nearly lost everything when Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 was stinging up the joint. Honestly, I don't think you guys realize, again, how bad things actually got with Warzone 2. I'm kind of under an NDA myself a little bit with how bad it is. I have to repeat it so much because I can't tell you how bad it actually was when Modern Warfare 2 was that year's COD and Warzone 2 was stinking up the joint. I mean, player numbers fell so dramatically. Activision was actually worried, and support was rumored to be pulled from Warzone the next year unless things picked up. From what I hear, though, I don't play Warzone, but from what I hear and what I saw on Steam charts and stuff like that, things did pick up. However, this most recent iteration of Warzone didn't move the needle at all from what I saw, and apparently people hate it, and people are just not playing it, so it remains to be seen how that's going to get handled. But before I get into that, I want to cover something else they did that's pretty much anti-consumer, unless you're Little Timmy. Little Timmy No Thumbs, Billy Goat 57, what have you. One of the big things that they did that doesn't make a lot of sense to me is they apparently tried to soft patch out two-boxing. If you don't know what two-boxing is, I'm sorry for the hardcore fans of my channel, hardcore players, what have you, but I gotta explain it again because a lot of people don't know and they might find these videos randomly, clicking on whatever, so I gotta explain it pretty much every time I mention it. Two-boxing is this. You make a dummy account on Call of Duty that's really bad, that you go and just like tank the stats on. You search for a game with that. Once you're in the pre-game lobby, you join that account off of your main account where you play normally. Then once you get into the lobby, it takes a little bit of luck because you got to depend on players coming in and out. But once you get into the lobby, you back out the bad account and you play as normal. And all of the players are like just terrible, basically. That's what a lot of people do to break records and whatnot on Twitter and stuff. Well, they actually patched that out, and I had to test it myself today. I didn't want to play Black Ops 6, but I had to test it out. I got to do it for science. You can't two-box anymore. Not that way, at least. You can still kind of do it. On the right here, I'm in the lobby with Billy Goat 57. Billy Goat 57 is a one-eyed half-wit that burnt his thumbs in a fire when he was young trying to play Game Boy near the stove. So he's pretty bad at first-person shooters. So I just partied up with them. It takes a combination of our kind of hidden MMR, hidden skill level, and puts us in a lobby sort of in the middle. What's funny about this gameplay, though, is that there's a guy on my team that I'm pretty sure was doing the same thing. I'm not making that up. While doing this test even, I actually ran into people with 2box on their clan tag. And I saw somebody else with a VPN on their clan tag. We have completely taken over skill-based matchmaking. So they can try to patch the killing the protected bracket stuff out, but we're still gonna find a way around that every single time. So what I think Call of Duty did, by the way, from my testing, is you can no longer join in progress unless they're like not in a game or something like that, I think. I mean, here's the thing. It could be a glitch. I don't know with these people. Like, I don't really know. There's so many bugs and issues in these games. I don't know if this is intentional or not, truthfully. So it remains to be seen. But in this particular lobby, they're not like brain dead. They're not great either. our team's actually worse. It's like me and this other guy that I think are two boxing, and then our team is just terrible. And then the enemy team are around average to slightly above average, maybe. And that's it, pretty much. It feels sort of like a VPN lobby. And that is a great segue to plug my sponsor, SBMMoff VPN. If you are on PC and you want lobbies akin to this, sort of in the middle, SBMMoff VPN is the way to go. If you use my link in the pinned comments, video description, whatever, you get $4 off. It's a one-time charge, and it basically breaks the skill-based matchmaking and gives you a random lobby. So it's not going to give you like bot lobbies, at least not all the time, but it is going to just circumvent that toxic EOMM skill-based matchmaking stuff that's kind of rigs your experience. So yeah, highly recommend it. I'm probably just going to stick with that method. Now, there is a way to get pure bot lobbies, I think, and it's going to be 3-boxing, but that's pretty complicated, and I haven't tested that yet. I do have a PS5 just sitting in my closet, so I could whip it out if I wanted to, but that requires buying the game again, and I'm not going to do that. So we'll see what happens with this. But what's really funny about this is if they did go out of the way to fix this, and it's intentional, this is actually worse than ever if you are good at the game. And I don't mean the fact that you can't go into little Timmy No Thumbs lobbies and just have a power trip anymore. Although that is true, that is not what I'm talking about. See, there's a little system in this game called shadow banning. I'm sure you've heard of it, but if you don't know what I'm talking about, shadow banning is where you get enough reports and then the AI determines you are a cheater or doing something nefarious, and it puts you in a shadow ban bracket. Now, the people in shadow ban brackets range from people actually cheating that aren't banned yet, so people wall hacking or just doing something that's not good, to people that are just good at the game and got reported because people thought they were cheating, to people that aren't very good at the game but were teaming up with like their bad friend or something and got reported enough to get put into the shadow ban bracket. Some dad reported that he was like he was playing with his son who isn't good at the game. He got enough reports on himself that he got put into a shadow ban bracket. And when you're in this bracket, you get put in there for a week and are basically just out of commission for a week. The problem with this system is that once you are in this shadow ban bracket, your account's like flagged, and it takes less reports to put you back into this bracket after. And what I don't get about this system is, why is it in the game if you actually have an anti-cheat that's supposed to ban people for cheating? Why does this system exist? Is it left over from before they had Ricochet and they just haven't taken it out? I don't know, but it's just a garbage system. Here's the thing though, if you happen to fall into this category, 2-boxing was the only way to really get out of that. You could join another account. You know, maybe that's why they're doing it. They don't want people in the shadow ban bracket like getting out of that at all. I don't know. But yeah, this was the only way to really get out of that shadow ban bracket, is to join someone else's session once they've done the matchmaking for you, if that makes sense. Now, why are they doing this and worrying about this when their anti-cheat itself is complete garbage? I want to show you this from Twitter. This is from Nadeshot and Godric. So Godric's a really good player. Godric is one of the best players I've ever seen, honestly. He's super good, and he does not do anything. He doesn't even VPN. He doesn't 2-box. He does not VPN. He plays completely legit and fair. Look at this Twitter duo here. This is just Call of Duty's fucking biggest problem in a nutshell in these two tweets. Look at this. Nadeshot says, aim lock, walls, Cronus Zens, and DDoSing. It's disgusting. Call of Duty has turned into a cheater's paradise, and unfortunately, it won't be stopped. Can't even tip good plays and good shots in kill cams because they might be hacked up. I love the game, but hate it too. And right under this, the Twitter algorithm gave me this. And for the first time ever, I'm shadowed. And he's not eligible for appeal. Godric responds to me tweeting about this and says, the kicker is I don't 2-box, don't VPN. I've been playing solos to avoid the insane SBMM and Resurgent squads lobbies and still got fucked over by Activision. You cannot win with this game. I have to ask you guys at this point, why in the fuck would you play legit? Why in the fuck wouldn't you just join the cheaters, the VPNers, the 2-boxers, the 3-boxers, the people that quit out of 20 games in a row, the people that throw grenades at their feet for several games in a row, hoping to lower their MMR? Why wouldn't you just do that? It's clear as day if you play this game legitimately and you are any good or you will get better or whatever, you're going to be fucked over. And the sad thing is that this is just with the stuff we can prove. There's been a big hot topic about, you know, the hit detection and stuff like that. And again, Call of Duty released a pre-season blog post talking about all the changes, talking about problems they're fixing, what have you. Nowhere in this blog post do they mention what the fuck is wrong with the netcode. The netcode, the hit detection, whatever. These guys got community noted talking about erroneous blood splatter, erroneous blood visual effects or whatever when shooting someone, not getting hit markers, and blood's flying out. No mention of anything else, no mention of their dogshit servers, no mention of the 20 hit markers like that people will sometimes get on one person. And this has caused rumors of either the servers are way worse than we thought, or there's skill-based damage involved, or something like that. But the weirdest thing, and you've been watching this gameplay the entire time, so you can kind of see what I'm talking about, like, this is a pretty consistent lobby. I mean, the people in this lobby are pretty mid-tier overall, but, like, it's a consistent lobby. I'm soft 2-boxing, essentially. But I'm having no real issues. There's one part, I'm not sure if it played already or if it's going to in a bit, but I did lose aim assist. It was when I was aiming over the Jeep to the left of the B flag, like to the far left of the B flag on the opposite side. It was happening then. I'm not sure if that was a smoke related. There was some smoke on my screen. I don't know, but I definitely lost aim assist. But I'm not sure where that exactly was in this gameplay. I just remember making a mental note of it. Other than that, the hit detection was pretty consistent. The shots to kill, pretty consistent. Like, this lobby felt pretty good. I didn't really have any lag issues or whatever. I didn't notice packet burst. It may have popped up, but I didn't feel it. And I haven't been paying attention while I've been doing this commentary. So, oh, wait. This is where I lost aim assist. I remember. But see, there was like smoke and there's a Jeep in my way. So it could have been something like that. It didn't feel like I was just getting nerfed or whatever. But I don't know, man. Aim assist in this game is really wonky. You can definitely feel when it's not working correctly as well. But this instance seems to just be like an anomaly or smoke related. So I'm not really going to count it. I'll give the game a mulligan, you know. But back to the whole, like, skill level of the lobby thing. Dude, it feels, I swear to God, it feels better when you're in lower skill lobbies in general. Like, what the fuck is that? Someone please back me up here. Am I crazy? It's just like placebo effect. It legit feels better when I'm not in, like, my normal solo match-made lobbies. Do you guys feel the same? Am I mad here? Seriously. I don't know what's going on, but like, as an example, let me show you something that I saw on Twitter, and this doesn't explain the erroneous blood effects. That could be a server issue. In fact, Freud, I believe is how you say his name on Twitter, did a test and like showed that the hitboxes were all kinds of messed up just in general, but they're not so messed up to be experiencing what we're experiencing exactly. And then he also did a test with making himself lag, and he got the no hit marker but blood's flying out thing. And you can check yesterday's video to see that stuff. It should be time-stamped if you want to revisit that or you missed it or whatever. But the point of all this is that this doesn't explain why people are getting so many hit markers and why the shots to kill when you are connecting doesn't seem to make sense. Like, what in the fuck is that? I cannot figure it out for the life of me. I got sent this clip on Twitter and it's just unreal. And you can see, like, before the issue happens, everything is working perfectly fine, which tends to rule out lag or whatever, like a big laggy portion of the match or what have you. This clip truly blows my mind, and I've seen something like it dozens of times, if not hundreds of times at this point. Like, you'll see it all over Reddit, all over TikTok, all over Twitter. They have not addressed it at all as we get back to the regular gameplay here. The fact that Call of Duty has not acknowledged what I just showed you, they haven't acknowledged that. They have not acknowledged the actual issue with not getting hit markers despite clearly hitting people. The fact that they haven't acknowledged that is, again, the biggest red flag ever. We know for a fact they do not acknowledge things they want to keep secret. If something is off with the game and the community brings it up, if they don't acknowledge it, I truthfully think it's a thing that's happening based on their track record. I don't care if that makes me a conspiracy theorist. I don't care if data guys get mad at me for saying that. Until they give us a solid, verified answer on what's going on with not only the hit detection as far as like getting no reg shots, but also getting too many regs. Like, why does it take 10 hit markers to kill someone when normally the gun kills in like 5? Why do the health states vary so much? Why are there no health bars above the enemy's head like there was in Black Ops 4, for example? It makes no sense. I get that people say skill-based damage couldn't exist because it shows damage numbers at the end of the match. Who's to say those numbers are fucking accurate? I mean, I don't know, man. There is something severely off with this game, and if they don't give us an answer soon, dude, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, they haven't acknowledged this whole, like, not being able to join people. They haven't said, yeah, we're, like, stopping the two-boxing. Too many people are two-boxing, so we're changing how you join players' games in session or whatever. They haven't acknowledged that either. So is it intention? Like, dude, there needs to be fucking communication! Please! I'm out of time, though. As you can see here, this guy on my team is a fellow two-boxer. So we both did pretty damn good. The people on our team did terrible. Yeah, we still lost. Great game. Fantastic game. I like how on top of all of this matchmaking, engagement optimized matchmaking, what have you, there's also lobby balancing. So the fact that we're in this lobby means we're going to get the dumbest motherfuckers on our team and not win. Great game. Fantastic game. Not rigged at all. My engagement's optimized. The data says that my engagement is so optimized, bro. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Rate, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good one. Peace.